Well, good evening. It's Michael here from Michael's Card Art, and it's Monday, the 20th of January in 2025. I can't believe we're 25 years past the year 2000, and it's just amazing. 25 years past. Oh, well, and the lessons we've learnt in that time, I suppose. What I've got for you today is a card that I did the other day as part of the Stampin' Up! Country Birdhouse suite. And this is a number of things all gathered together in terms of techniques, and I've stolen from various sets to give us this three-dimensional sort of birdhouse effect. And I want to, there were a couple of things about it that I will change. Firstly, the height of the card. There is no way that I can get a piece of A4 paper that will fold over to give me the backing board of that card. So really, this is just the front piece of card, and so I would need to make the card smaller. So that's what we're going to do tonight, and I'm going to change the flowers that I've used. Now, these flowers, some come from the Country Birdhouse set, and I can't show it to you because I stamped and dyed all of the things that I needed to, and lent it to a friend this afternoon. So, but this is one set where you don't even need the stamps. You could just use the dyes to create this effect. But yes, I've stolen from a number of sets. Daffodil Delight for the butterflies. This is very Versailles for the overhanging branches. These ones come from Country Birdhouse. These ones come from a number of other sets. Flowers of Beauty is these ones, I think. And these ones come from, I think it's Dainty Delights. So there's a number of sets involved in this. Oh, and in the background here, we've got the clouds, you can see here, and you've got the greenery. So that comes from Artistically Inked. So there's a number of sets, there's a number of techniques employed in this card, and we'll get on and start making it. Now, one thing to be aware of, for those of you who know my work, I always look for height and texture in most of the work that I do, and you can see here that the birdhouse is elevated off the base card. Now, I went to Pinterest to see other examples of this work, and I went there after I had started work on this card, and I was very surprised that most of the cards that I saw on Pinterest for this Country Birdhouse set, they're all made at the two-dimensional level. So everything is generally quite flat, and that serves its purpose very well in some of my designs. But the majority of them, I like to see them in a three-dimensional thing, and you'll see that it gives a totally different effect. One day, what I'm going to do is I'll do a card in 2D and 3D, and we'll explore what the differences are, and see the benefits of 3D. I think one of the biggest disadvantages of three-dimensional cards is the fact that it's difficult to post them in a normal envelope, and it is more expensive to have them sent through the post. But I generally make up little protector packets for them and send them on their way, and it's so much easier though if you have you can hand deliver them. But anyway, 20th what do they call them? Third world, no it's not, first world problems. Anyway, I've got a slight dry throat, and I'm wondering whether I've got a slight cold coming on. And anyway, so we'll persevere. Now, as you can see here, I've got a lot of elements. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to explore these elements a little later on as we build up the background of the card here, and I'll be using a lot of these pieces, and we'll go in and we'll colour them. But I suppose one of the big exercises from today is to see other sets as potential providers of elements. if you don't have all the elements you think you need in that one set. And one of the things that I hear a lot of is people feel unbrave. I don't know, unbrave. Don't feel courageous enough to go in and bring elements from other stamp sets into a particular set because they fear that it may not be suitable. Well, what I'd say to that is if you've got an idea in your mind that you need a tall stemmed shrub of sorts, and it's in a die cut as opposed to being stamped and die cut. And what I mean by that is this, I'll show you. So everything here is just a die cut. The shape of the die allows you to see what the finished product is. And you'll see that dies also have features embedded within them that gives you a good understanding of what it is you're looking at. See these flower petals and these leaves have got the veins in them and things. So they just help distinguish what it is. These butterflies here, they are nothing more than just the shape of a butterfly. Where you get this, the different colours and highlighted features is from the colouring technique we've used to give you that. So and the Roadhouse, the Birdhouse here, well, I've used the designer series paper provided by Stampin' Up for this one, but I've also done a couple of things here by highlighting certain things, the edges if you like, and that helps to accentuate certain features within the element. Okay, yes, I think I am getting a cold. My nose has just decided to start running. Okay, well, let's see how far we get into the program. And if I don't finish tonight, we'll then finish tomorrow. And so what I'm going to do with this video, I'm going to break it up into chapters so that you can, if you just want to know how I've coloured the various flora, that'll be up on the video so you can scroll to it. The leaves will be done in another way. And what I'm going to do with this card as well, I'm going to remove these stamped and fussy cut leaves. I wasn't really fond of those to start with. And I have found some leaves that we're going to colour, and they will act as overhanging branches or foliage from a big flowering gum, if you like, sitting over the tree. And I've got a couple of these leaves already coloured up for you. And so here they are here. These come from a set called, I did have them here. Oh, anyway, I'll come to that and let you know. Bold Floral Dies, I think it's called. Anyway, so I've got a couple of these all coloured up, ready to go on, and I've put in some little flower buds across them that you can see there. So I'll show you how we coloured those, and we'll get some placement and positioning done on those. And I think you'll agree that the die cut ones give you, or they're more sympathetic with the rest of the features of the Birdhouse than having these stamped ones. So that's what I say to you. If you want to mix and match stamp sets, do it, but either do it with, so that it's just simply dies, or stamps and dies, so it's sympathetic with the other features on the card itself. All right, and so let's make a start, and the first thing I'm going to work on, because it's the easiest, will be the Birdhouse itself. And I'll just go and organize the roof and the opening. I've got to stamp that out or cut that out. And as soon as I've done that, I will be straight back and we'll crack on with the Birdhouse. We've got the Birdhouse and we're going to assemble it, I suppose. Now, bearing in mind what I've done is for each of these various pieces, and I'll show you the white ones. These pieces here came as dies, and effectively how it works is this. One for the base, one for the top, and underneath there is our little bit of decoration. I think that's kind of like the eaves, and then we've got, oh dear, and then we've got this little piece here that goes there, and we've got this here. Okay, so I've cut all of those pieces out. I cut out the birdhouse, and I also cut out a piece of DSP to sit on the shape of the birdhouse. Now, then I just didn't like the whole look of that, so I then got in and cut some more colours from the designer series paper, and this is the reverse side pattern of what we see there, and I've just done this. So I do need to colour these up, and I will assemble them. Now I've got the base card. It probably could be overkill, but because it's a three-dimensional card, you do need to have some strength in some of the elements. So this is really, I've used the designer series paper and attached it to white cardstock so that you've got that extra strength there. And you'll also notice, I'm just going to sneak in under the here. See how I've got, these are the springs that I've used. I could have used dimensionals, but I wanted there to be definite strength and structure to hold that in place. So when I send it, it may be three-dimensional, but it will pack flat to a 2D card. This here tucks away underneath. It does normally when I'm not on TV, on showing it. Now, so that's the finished product. And what I've done with the eaves and the fascia board is I've stained it on the edges just to give it an accentuation. So let's get in and do that. The first thing we should do though is let's attach these pieces to their respective white cardstock piece. And I'll get that underway first. And here we go, we have glue. I thought maybe it had dried out. Today in Melbourne has been a little muggy, a little warm. And for us to get humid days is quite, I mean, we only get them in the summer. And we're not even considered to be subtropical this far down south in Australia to get humid days, but when they come, they throw us a bit because we're just not used to humid weather down here. The rest of Australia says we don't get a summer, but we know that that's not really true. We just get 4 seasons in one day, and part of that blend is a couple of hours of warm weather. Yes, Melbourne does have some erratic weather. Now, so that one goes there. And this goes like so. I'm trying to keep that glue to a minimum because I'm going to have it oozing out everywhere. So I'm just going to take some off with cotton bud. And like so. All right. And attaching this one. I'm just not getting it straight tonight. Yes, I feel a little bit off sorts. But I can't complain because I never get a cold, and when I do, it's like once every 4 years or so. It must be that 4-year time frame. Now, I want to just darken this piece up before I attach it. So let me just get out some, I'm going to use early espresso, a nice deep rich brown. And just simply daubing that to give it that brown tone. And there we go. Be careful if you're using this set, or if you're using any set, to create a bit of a treehouse theme for wildlife, then just watch when you're colouring that you do not stretch or bend the element too far, because you may have problems with it later on. And many times have I tried to be vigorous in my colouring approach, and I've either torn a very fine element beyond repair, or I've bent it in such a way that it's rendered it useless. All right, so just one more piece here to glue on, and then I'll clean up that mess. And here it is. Okay, that's enough there. All right. And a big thank you last week or the week before for those people who wrote in and said to me, get yourself a silicone gluing mat. Now, to be quite honest, I did have one, and I didn't really know how to use it, and so it's been pushed to the back of the shelf somewhere, and I can't find it. So I will go and get another one and use it the right way, apparently. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, this one here on our reference piece, you can see I've given it a bit of a tanned profile. So the way I did that was thus. I just got the element, it's got this white cardstock glued to the base of it now, and I just did this. And there you go. Just make sure you give even pressure all along the way on the ends, and likewise here. Just a little bit of time, and you'll know when it's ready. And I possibly should be using tweezers for this. I had to glue a pair of these because one of the arms broke off. Yeah, one of these broke off. And you're about to see if it it's not the strongest, but there it is there. For some reason it's decided to crack. Anyway, a pair of tweezers on the mend. Alright, is that even? I think that's as good as we're going to get it. Alright. Now let's assemble the bird cage and put that aside whilst we I'll just clean this up, and oops, and that should be ready to go. Just get a bit of alcohol. Okay. All right. Now, bring some glue here. Now, notice I'm gluing the element and then attaching it to the main piece, if you like. And I did mention it in another video a short time ago, and somebody said, oh, just be more careful. But what I do, I always put the glue on the element that and then attach it to the main piece. I don't do it the other way, because I find that if I do it the other way, I use too much, or I've put the glue in the wrong spot. And so when I put this element on here to the base one, I've got all this running out everywhere, or I've overglued. So I find glue the smaller piece, attach it to the, apply the glue to the smaller piece, and then attach it to the main piece. And it works for me every time. Okay, let's just put this on. And there we go. Now this, in my exuberance to get that glued, I forgot to glue this one. All right, so that's there. I can safely put that there. It's the eave, and then I'll get the, there we go, and I'll get the L piece, and that will sit over the top like that. But let me just glue this on. Oh, I already glued that. No, I didn't think so. All right, and here we go. God, a lot of glue tonight. There we go. And okay. And maneuver that into place very quickly, and you'll see I've just been moving this around. There is a slight gap, and fortunately our stamp designers saw that coming and allowed us to cover it with like so. Now I've just placed that together, and yes, and that's all in place now. Just taking off that excess glue. All right, so that's our birdhouse basically finished. And what we'll do next is I want to show you how I've created the overhanging branches of the whatever tree it's supposed to represent. And so let's do that now and put that aside. And I think this will be the last thing I do tonight. I'm going to go and have a shower and climb into bed. Okay. Oh, I bought a new bed the other day, and it just wasn't, the mattress wasn't quite high enough for the frame. So then I bought, and I suppose advertising is advertising, I bought an Emma diamond pillow mattress topper. Oh my goodness me. It's the best thing since sliced bread. It really is. I didn't realize a topper could make such a big difference. I mean, I like to spend a bit of money on my bed, because do you realize we spend a third of our lives in bed? 8 hours sleeping, 8 hours playing, and 8 hours working. So that's a big chunk of your life. So if you live to 66, why I chose 66, I don't know, but 66, we've spent 22 years of our life in bed. And I believe there's somewhere in the world that somebody, some country, has recognized this fact, and they have created a memorial for the bed. Most of us, and so it goes on, most of us are conceived in a bed, born in a bed, and pass on in a bed. So it's a pretty major piece of infrastructure for one's... Oh, here's my little assistant, Kiki. Yes, Kiki, what's the matter? All right, I need to go and take it to the bathroom, so I'll be straight back. Now, before I got distracted there by Kiki, I picked up the wrong green. The colour that we're going to use to colour these overhanging flowering plants is Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. I'll go with these two. And these little flowers, just random little die cuts, and I've coloured those to make it look like the gum is flowering. But more on that as we get going. Let me show you how I've coloured the branches with the two colours. So just grab two daubers, one for each colour, and lay down the darker of the two colours first. And all I do is I start with the base of each of these elements, if you like. So this is the base here, and that's what I'm calling the top. This is the base here, and that's what I'm calling the top. So I've got 3 levels of color, if you like, and I'll just repeat that again for you. So I've got the stem, and I'm doing the base, and the base. Okay, so I've left room there for the leaf to have another tone of color in there, and in this case it's going to be old olive. Okay, so there's the base. Here we go, and just the base. All right, now, and let's come in with the lighter of the two. I'll just turn that around now. Now make sure this one is a little bit loose there, I can see that. So just gently apply your, and I'm probably going to lose that one, I think. I'll have to give it a bit more support. Okay. Apply your lighter color. So load it up well with ink, and I'm just securing that with with my finger where I can, just to take the pressure off that small tear that I've seen. All right, so this is good, and I've tried to blend it, or tried to apply the second color so that you don't have too many or too richer separation line like you see here. What I do like to see is you've got graduation of color, and I think that's there is quite good. All right, so start with this one now. Get our top underway. So all those spaces that have got white on them, that's where we'll apply the second color. Now that's being colored with a dauber. You could have done it just as well if we had used alcohol blends. But what I like about the dauber is this, let me hold it up for you here. It's that graduation and that sort of like spotty, if there's such a word, color that you get from daubers that you can't replicate from blends or alcohol markers. So just let's make this the last one, and just bring the color in there. There we go. Now the way I color these is a far cry from the way I color something where I can get my hands around the piece of cardstock. For example, like an urn or a vase, I color them in a much altered or a much different way than I'm coloring these ones. And you won't see that process, I don't think, in this video, because we don't have such elements. Now all I did here was took these little random cuts, and let me get rid of that piece of cards. Where are they? Right down the bottom in the back of the tin. All right. And here are these little flowers, and what I will do with these is place them onto the limbs themselves. And it was just done very randomly, nothing strategic. I'm going to put one here though, some glue. This is that spot that appears to be, oh gosh, breaking up on me. So let's just get one of these in there to give it some strength. Put another one here. It's a fine, very fine, small, fine amount of glue there. Okay, there's another one ready for that. There we go. think two's enough. And this one, let's put on that line as well, where it looks a bit weaker. And there you go, you've got some additional strength in those two places. And do we have another one? Yes, we did. All right, so let's put one here. All right, I think that's enough. So there are the overhanging branches for our tree house. Well, it's 2 days since I did the last bit of filming. I came down with a bit of a cold, and also I've hurt my back in some way, shape or form. So the last couple of days have been spent in that bed that I just told you we spend a third of our life in. Anyway, it's going to be a slow couple of days for me. I coloured this without realising that the camera had already wasn't on. But all I did with this is I've coloured it with a dark grey. In this case, it was a pebble path. Let me just grab that out for you. And I've just used the dauber, a pebble path, and I've also used the evening evergreen. And just with the dauber, I've just randomly given that some colour to give us that. Now I will get some small flowers and put here. I'm just not sure which flower it will be that goes in there. So we've got our overhanging branches, we've got our main frame flower, and if we use our reference point here, that's this one here. So that's coloured. What I want to do now is I want to show you the leaves that we're going to use. Now these are, well, I think they're stunning. So I've coloured these up in this way, and I've just used 2 colours, and they're just 2 tones of green. So I've used the soft succulent and evening evergreen. And what I did, I'll show you that. Now, where are my leaves? Oh, here they are. I reached over into another little tray, another project. Here we go. So I've just taken these, and you'll notice I've just coloured to the edges, and I've kept the centre pretty well colour free where I can. Don't be too religious about it, and that was only done inadvertently actually, and I liked the effect so much I decided to keep it going. Let me just grab a couple of daubers. Here they go. Evening evergreen and soft succulent. And look, if you don't have these colours, no one's going to be sent to prison. However, they're just recommendations on my behalf. Right, now, all I'm doing is this. So, on the right-hand side of the leaf, I'm colouring like that. Okay, and just like that. So you can see straight away there's a white ridge appearing. Okay, and this one. There we go. And with our soft succulent, so the lighter of the 2 greens, we just go over and do the opposite leaf, the opposite side of the leaf. Now, fortunately, I managed to achieve this look because my inkers, they probably need a bit of a drink, and it was because that they are a little bit dry that I stumbled across this little effect. And then just colouring up the base of the leaf. Okay. It's as simple as that. I really like the look of that. So I'm going to stay with that. And that will be a leaf. So I'll just do a couple more of those. And I'll move on and I'll show you what I did with the little flowers. Now, those little flowers that I'm going to use are these ones. Now, I've done up a couple of these in advance, but these are from that set. Now, if I can just find where it is. Oh, yes, Flowers of Beauty. Now, any small flower will be fine, but this is what I used. I used these dies from that set, Flowers of Beauty. So I just cut out 2 strips of those, and I've glued those together. The smaller of the 2 flowers sits on top, and I just got the Stampin' Right marker, the Blackberry Bliss, and I just coloured in the centre of those flowers. So I've got a whole host of those. And how I'm proposing it will look is these delicate little flowers will sit on these leaves like so. Now, I know somebody will ask me, where did I get these leaves from? I don't know which set they're from, I really don't. And they came, I'm thinking these ones came as part of a little gift pack from a friend. She gave me a whole heap of dies, and so these were unnamed, so I'm assuming she got those from another site, or I don't believe they're Stampin' Up. But anyway, the thing I like about these green leaves is they're very deeply veined from the die set, and they're just going to be fabulous for this little project that we've got going on here now. And so these little flowers will sort of sit on these green leaves as such. So that's those. Now I've got one other piece of foliage that I want us to colour, and there may be 2 other pieces, and I've got the butterflies, so let's do all of that at once. These ones here, I'm going to do these a very dark grey, and we used the Pebble Path before, so I'll bring that out again, and just giving these from the edges, there we go, and it's just simply applying a bit of colour. It can be motley, it doesn't matter if it's not full-on grey. There we go. And these ones here came from a set which was all the different foliages that you can get. Once again, I don't know if it's Stampin' Up or not, because it comes from that pack where it's all unnamed. Okay, so those ones there, I think that's sufficient. That will fit nicely with the leaves and the pink, the green and the pink. So yeah, so that's good. That's those ones. These ones here, I don't know what I want to do with those, but let's do the butterflies. Now, predominant colour, I'm going to do the butterflies balmy blue. And how I've done those, here we go. Now I'm going to bend the butterfly in half like so. Now these butterflies come from Daffodil Daydream, a Stampin' Up set. I'm just folding the butterfly like so, and I'm going to bend the wings back like this. Now, a good dose of balmy blue, and that's all I'm doing. And fold the wing over and back. There we go. So you're not taking it right to the edge, just that bit of blue on that ridge. And then we get our balmy blue, our grey, and just do the edges of the wings, like so. Now you may choose a different color to go with the blue, and I'm just going to, then I'm folding that back, and the center part I'm going to put into, let's put it into this, into Cajun Craze. And just putting it like that. And so our butterfly looks like that. I think very effective. I like the contrast with the white and the dark and the blue. Okay, so there's our butterfly. Let's do that again. Bending it over. There we go. Oops, a little bit too much to the edge. Some grey. And some grey. And there we go. As simple as that. Okay. All right, there's our butterflies. And let's do the baseboard now, at the base of the card. I'm just unsure about these flowers, and I'm unsure about what flowers I'm going to use in here, in these ones. So let's hold fire with that, and I'll get myself ready, and I'll show you how I did the base, how I colored the base card. Okay, so now what I've done, I've cut the base card. I'll just give you some measurements here. 12 centimeters by roughly 15 centimeters, 12 by 15 centimeters. And it's not a lot of real estate to work with, but it's enough for us. Now, this here, as you know, I like height in my projects. So this is what I've done. I've created a spring. It's 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. I think that's right. Yep, 4 by 4. And what I've done is I've scored it at 1 centimeter, just on one side. Okay, and then with my boning folder, I just flatten that down like so. Now I've got 2 springs because they will sit on either side of that birdhouse. Okay. Now I'm using these as opposed to dimensionals because to get the height that I wanted, it would just take a lot of dimensionals. And so therefore, we're going to do this. And it will sit up like that. So let's get that on there now, so that we know what we're working with. There we go. I'm going to have to go back and lay down. I think my back is hurting too much. I don't know what I've done to it. Oh, gosh, retirement. The age to enjoy oneself. Oh, feels like all I'm doing is heading off to the quack and spending my retirement funds there. I just need to turn that over like that. There we go. So there's our springs, and it will sit and give you your elevation there. And that's where you start to see the true effect of 3D in your work. And let's bring another one of these over, and you'll start to see it like this. There you go. All right, so imagine that, and we've got our grabbing hold of it like that. And these are sitting down here underneath, giving us the background foliage that we want. And it will go something like this. And then you've got your little pink flowers scattered over here, like so. Okay, there's that. And then over on this side, I might have one or two of these here as well. Like so. And then over on this side, this is where I was going to have possibly one or two of these butting up against the actual birdhouse. So that's kind of the look we're going with. And of course our two butterflies coming in like that. Now, that's well and good, but we don't have a background, and this is what I'm proposing we do with that. So, the background, grabbing one of my favouriteest kits, stamp sets, it's artistically inked. So this, for me, is a brilliant background creator. Okay, and using Balmy Blue, I'm using this long set here, and it creates these washed out watercolor patterns, if you like. Look at that. So this is the sky that we're going to work with our birdhouse. Now, it doesn't have to be even, it just needs to be placed. So there's our sky. Okay, and now we'll move into our the green horizon, if you like. And I think I'll use a combination of colours for the green, and that reflects the fact that there's a lot of foliage under our birdhouse. So I've used evening evergreen and soft succulent. Okay, just give that a wipe, and they'll look like this. I can't remember which one I've used now. This will do. Okay, and there's our green. That's the background. And now you'll be able to place your elements confidently, knowing that there is a realistic background, I suppose. And you'll see a difference straight away. And so forth. Now, I've decided I will colour these ones up here. So I'll do that now. A colour that I don't have in there. Let's see what I could use. Let's go with the pink theme, and we'll stay. I'll go with a mauve. Just grab out a Dorva. And see if we can't get some strong. No. I'm concentrating the colour down on the base and letting the Dorba push any random colour up into it. So we've got a strong colour down there at the base of the thing, and just okay. Now with the green, let's go with a mossy meadow. So a nice rich green to complement the mauve there. All right, and there we go. I think that's very good. What's that little thing in there? Oh, it's just something that hasn't cut properly. Okay. There we go. And, oh, where was the other one? There it is. Alright, it's green and the mauve. Oh, this is something I got also. I bought this online, you might be interested. This is great for those smaller projects. Like I was just, so if we want to concentrate the colour, and I'm holding the stem on this so it doesn't break away, but concentrate the bulk of the colour down the bottom. And this little tool, pen, is invaluable for that. I meant to use that before and show you. And you get this really nice rich colour there. And like so. There we go. That's what I was looking for. This sort of concentration of colour there, and then it gets lighter as it goes up. And then with our green, bring in, there we go. I'll do this one slightly lighter in the green because it will sit at the front and that one will sit at the back. And there we go. Great. Okay, they're done. And I think all we have to do now is bring it all together. Before I do that though, I am going to take a small break and go and rest up. And I'll use that time to also think about what other elements I need to put into it that we may not have thought about. Now, look, you don't have to have a three-dimensional effect on it. I just like the fact that there is 3 dimensions there. It just makes it all come together nicely. Anyway, until I return, I will see you then. So we're down to the last part of the creation, and what we're going to do now is put all the elements together. So here is the spring in place. There was a 4x4 and I scored each of these pieces at 1 centimetre, and I did the spring simply to reduce the amount of dimensionals that I would need. So as part of this putting it together, we're going to shape the various elements. Now when I say shape them, you can put them flat like this, but what I like to do is be able to give them some fold, or some shape and some fold, based on how they might appear out in the wild, out in Mother Nature land. So this is kind of the layout that I'm thinking. Oh, and the other thing that I've decided to do is this. I've decided to keep these, put these little bud flowers, and I'll glue these in place now, onto, I'll just get some glue happening here. I've got a very good tip for this. When you open up the glue and you're using it on a daily basis, or in a session, let's say, it helps if you, oops, here we go, to put a wet cloth, and I've got it here, here we go, just a dampened cloth, and just put the dampened cloth into a surface or into a container and put the glue like that, and it stops it from getting that blockage. So Kay Jeske, fellow crafter, thank you very much for that little tip. It's saved me a lot of unplugging of getting rid of those plugs in the glue. Okay, now I'm just pulling these in like so. And just a couple more. Yes, I thought I'd use these rather than introducing another flower into the dynamic. And there we go there. So just give those a moment to dry off. And, okay. So what I'm thinking is, the shaping of the flowers. So, and then what I do is just give it a gentle fold. Nothing too dramatic. And same with this one here. This one we might fold this way. There we go. Now I'm thinking I'll put these here. These will go down here. And let me see what I've got here. So I should have probably folded these before I put the flowers on, but you can still give it a bit of a bend and a fold. Okay. There we go, like so. All right. And this might be enough if I do this one here. Okay, and what I did with these little flowers, all I've done is I've just, once they've been glued on, I've just pushed them together like that to give them that little bit of height. Okay, and these elements, I think I'll keep these pretty much in situ. I might just bend the leaves up just a fraction. Okay. There we go. And this I could probably fold just around on itself, just to give it that bit of a rounded look. There we go. And this one here. There we go. All right. So let's put these into place and see how we go. So first thing first, let's do the, whoops. Oh, I think the glue has sucked up a bit of that water. Has it? Let me just get rid of that. Yes, I think what happened there, I had made the cloth too wet. Let's see. Oh, okay, now I've got all sorts of problems happening with my glue pot. Okay. Now I think I want to put it off center. So like so. There we go. And what I want to do with this, so I want this to go so that it's sitting up like that. So it just needs a bit of glue in the base there. And a bit on this one here. Okay, so it's sitting down there about that height. And it comes over here. So it's anchored there and anchored there. That's the only glue that it's got on it. Okay. And just remove a couple of those bits of excess glue spots. Like so. Okay. Now, with our folded leaves, I'm thinking like this and like this. Yes, I'll keep those under there like that. All right. All right, now, so just a little bit of glue on those edges that are touching or will be touching the card base. Okay, so we've got one there, there, and there. Okay. And likewise here. So just on those edges that are, I've now got so much glue. Just a little bit there on those edges touching the card. There we go. All right. I think like that there is good. All right. Now, what I wanted to do there was use these flowers and I'm just going to put some glue on my glass mat and I'll just touch those, and I just wanted to fill that there, put these little flowers there, and just use these to fill up that space. And these could be flowers that have fallen off this bush here. But I think they look so good with the green and white leaves that we've got here. I just didn't want to introduce too many more flowers or another different sort of flower there. Okay, I think that's probably enough. All right. Okay, I think that's good. All right, now let's see where we can place some of this. Yes, I think that looks good in there. And this one can go. Does that break that up too much? Yes, I think it goes in behind there quite nicely. So just a scraping of glue there, enough to secure it in place. There we go. And a piece in there. All right. And we've got that there. All right. And then I think we can get away with maybe one of these. Yes. Let's do that. And we can secure that in place there. Very good. And what I'll do, I'll put just a bit of glue on there, and that will hold that tight there. Just on the underside of that. There. And place that like so. All right. Now, the final touches are our leaves of the overhanging branches. So I think we don't need too many. Now, can I get one? Yes, I can. That's it. And so let's say they're all coming in from there. That one's overhanging, that's good. And we've got one there. And I think that is sufficient. Yes. All right, let's glue those into place. And let's get some glue here. As I said, I've got enough glue here now for the, oh dear. Enough glue here for the Chinese army. Oh. All right. Just using my fingers now to put this on because I've got it everywhere. Okay. All right. And another one. There we go. And that one will go down here, like so. And the last one, I'll take that one straight to there. All right. And that's that one. Okay. Okay, now just take off those ends just there. All right. Now I think, apart from our butterflies, and we need to get those on, and a sentiment. I'll put the sentiment about here, I think. The butterflies. Have I got any areas that I need to hide? I'll just put some glue here. I think I might put one of the butterflies here. Let me have a look. One there. And we might put one coming in from here. Okay. There we go. Not there. All right. And a sentiment, maybe a round one to go with the hole that's there already. And do I have enough flowers there? I think so. I'll just put one more here. Oh. All right, I think that's just about it. And a round sentiment. I've just got a whole heap of new ones that came in from the latest catalogue. I might use these ones are Unbounded Love Dyes. Oh, they look very nice. So I might make it. No, it's too big. Is this one smaller? I might put that one there like that, or I What does this look like? Actually, no, I like this one. And a word, a sentiment, I might make that hello. If I can find a hello. Just hold fire, I'll see if I can find one. Now, what I'll do is I'll just mount this onto some card, just enough to create a bit of a border there. I've got to take a bit off the edge there, and a bit like that. So let me just remove that little piece there. Oh, now I've taken too much, have I? Let me just have a look. No, I think that's... Okay, that's good. Gosh, the last couple of days when I've done gluing, I seem to be mismeasuring. Oh, there's a lot of glue there. Okay. All right, let's get that onto there. It's about level. Okay. There we go. All right, and then we'll glue that onto this. And I trust that that is a good size. I need to take a little bit off the end of this one here. Just do that now. All right. That should be suffice. Okay, perfect. All right. We're nearly there. Let's get some glue onto this. Down into the corners. Here we go. Okay, I think that is done. I don't think we need any embellishments. I've put the little bird in there. He's got a piece of green twig in his beak, and there is our country birdhouse. I think it looks good. Well, there's another project done and dusted. I think, yes, I'm very happy with that. It's a very large card, and but for a big occasion or for someone very special, then I don't think it's too big a card at all. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you've learned something. And most of all, I hope to see you next time on Michael's Card Art. Thank you for joining me, and take care.